Hi everyone, welcome to Firms Consulting channel. It's Chris. Today we're going to talk about how do you manage your image if you're working for a large management consulting firm. And this advice will also be applicable to other places, like for example, if you work for a large bank or you work for a startup, but I will primarily focus on how it is applicable to management consulting. Many things matter to make it in consulting: determination, knowledge, especially as you move up the ranks, time management, ability to manage relationships, especially with clients. But I think that managing your image is something that you also cannot neglect, and this is actually something that you have a lot of control over. Building a successful career as a management consultant requires you to position yourself in the right way. And I remember when I was joining major consulting firms that I worked for, when you join, you have conversations with a lot of people approaching you and asking you questions about your background, and they're asking you how long do you plan to stay within the firm, what are your long-term plans. And it's very important to position you in those conversations in the right way. So the first advice I would like to give you on how to create the right image within a management consulting firm, especially when you just joined, is to position yourself as somebody who is following a partner track. So basically position yourself as a person who does plan to try to make it to partner level, someone who sees a long-term career within the firm. Even if you are not certain that management consulting is the right career for you, and if you are thinking about maybe you will be leaving within a year, I still do not recommend to share this information. Instead, what I recommend to say is something along the lines of, look, my goal is to realize my potential and make a big impact in the world, and I hope that is your goal. And this organization seems to be a right fit to help me do that. Becoming a partner within a management consulting is certainly not completely in your control, but you need to show a commitment to do that. And this is very important to say because everything you say may get back to senior people. And those people are still considering if you are a hiring mistake or a partner material. If you are not committed to become a partner one day, or at least to stick around for a few years, then you are not positioning yourself as somebody who is important for the future of the firm. You have to be careful here, of course. You don't want to lie, but you also don't need to tell them everything. You can say what I recommended, that you would like to realize your potential, you would like to make an impact, you would like to solve difficult problems in the world, and it feels like the right place for you to do that. And this is not a lie, this is most likely aligned with what you really believe. You're just not telling them the entire truth, that you're not sure that this is the right place and you're testing it out and so on. They don't need to know this information. And you may be thinking, okay, this is applicable when I'm speaking to superiors, but I can say what I really think when I speak to my peers. And you need to keep in mind that consulting is all about up and out. So if you are not promoted at evaluation times, you will be managed out of the firm. And as much as I really enjoy collaborating with people and working with people, unfortunately, in consulting, similar to the experience you will have if you ever go through MBA or if you already went through MBA, you are really competing with people at your level, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's a difficult balance. You have to be collegial, you have to be helpful, but you also have to remember that you are a threat, you are competition, and often you have to be protecting yourself and play to win instead of releasing information that can come back and really hurt you. The second advice I would like to give you is that assume that everything you say will be shared. And I know that you wish that it wasn't the case, but it is the case, right? You share information with people and they sometimes let you down. Never say anything negative about the client, about your superiors, about your peers. Be very positive, be very collegial, very helpful, and remember that everything you say likely will be used against you at some point. So just be very, very careful what you say. And even if you think you can trust somebody, they may mention it to somebody by mistake, or they may be thinking that they're helping, and it can come back and really hurt you. So let me give you a very good example from my personal experience. When I was working in banking, I was invited by one of my colleagues to go for coffee, and we were talking, and he was telling me how much he hates his job, and he's been in this job for decades and he really hates it. He was just really sharing with me his unhappiness with the culture, with superiors, with how things are managed, and he really wanted to leave. his role and to leave the entire organization. And maybe to empathize with him, maybe to be kind to him, I did share it with him that I also don't feel very comfortable with the culture. I don't feel very comfortable with how things are managed and what is valued. So I shared with him a little bit of some of my concerns about the situation, and what happened after that is really a little ridiculous, but you will be surprised how often people behave in a ridiculous way. So I would be sitting at my desk, and repeatedly he will come to me, and I'm working in a huge open space with all my superiors and colleagues around me. He will come to me and say, "Chris, hi, so how things are going? Is culture getting better? Are you feeling a little happier about your job? Do you want to leave or do you decided to stay?" And things like that. And obviously this is very, very negative for me. I cannot afford for people around me to hear this kind of information, which I shared with him in private, and I told him, "I'm sharing it with you as a friend in private, please keep it between us." And I was sharing it with him after he shared it with me. And you know, when he did that, I never actually hit him back and said, "Oh, well, hello, you're the one who wasn't happy about this place. I was just supporting you during our conversation," because I'm not that kind of person. But nevertheless, multiple times he would come to me this way. In the future, when I would see him coming my way, I would just leave the desk because I know what is coming. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if he was doing it on purpose or if he really didn't understand what was going on. Maybe he was really trying very hard to be my friend and he thought that was supportive. But ridiculous things like that happen. And this was somebody who is at a very senior level, vice president within a major bank, and this kind of behavior, very poor judgment or just malicious intent. So my recommendation, apart from a very close circle of your closest family and friends, your spouse, maybe your girlfriend or boyfriend if you're really close and you trust this person with your life, apart from that little circle, you do not share information about your superior that you don't like, the client that is very difficult and you just cannot handle them anymore, you really want to go to another project, or a peer that is always taking credit for your work. Yes, it's very negative, but you have to play a long game. You have to appear collegial, you have to appear helpful. And fortunately in consulting, as I mentioned in one of the other videos, you are kind of protected from people taking credit for your work because you work with so many people that if you're good, people will know you're good. And when people are taking credit for someone's work, usually it somehow comes out and that person looks really, really bad. Number 3, let's call it mindset of a leader. I would like to talk about what you should be focusing on, what you should be saying. It is crucially important to think and talk like a leader as much as you possibly can. It is vital to act like you are 1 or 2 levels up. So for example, if you are currently a consultant, you want to act as a senior consultant. If you are a senior consultant, you need to start acting like an engagement manager. So observe, figure out what are responsibilities, what is the behavior of someone at the next level, what is the results that they deliver, and then try to deliver at the next level. Obviously do your job that is expected of you, but also deliver at the next level. So for example, if your peers are talking about a client that they really don't like, ask yourself, is the leader of the firm will be complaining to junior employees about a difficult client that they have? Already see yourself right now as a person who is more senior than your peers that are complaining about the client, and behave that way. Position yourself as a strong leader who inspires employees, who represents the firm well in front of the clients, in front of employees, in front of the world, and who is always looking out for the long-term success of the company. If you want to become a senior leader within the firm, you need to start establishing the foundation now as a strong leader and act already now as someone at a more senior level. And positioning yourself as someone at the next level also helps you during evaluations of your performance, because to get promoted, you need to perform at the next level. So it is the only way for you to succeed in consulting. You really need to always try to perform at the next level. As soon as you get promoted from business analyst to consultant, you start forcing yourself to perform at the senior consultant level. And as soon as you get promoted to senior consultant, then you position yourself as a manager, as an engagement manager, and so on. Always perform, act, behave as the person at the next level. Management consulting is very competitive, So you're competing with all your peers. And who do you think will get that next promotion? Somebody who is friends with their peers and one of the guys and they go together and drink in bars? Or somebody who is performing at the next level, very reliable, always over-delivers, extremely focused. Clients love him or her because they always over-deliver. They know the project inside and out. They know everything about the analysis they have done. They keep everything together. They are organized and they really focused on performing at the next level and over-delivering. And what may help you to get motivated is to remember that in consulting, if you are not being promoted, you are managed out as a hiring mistake. And I'm not saying that you need to be unfriendly, unhelpful. I'm saying that you need to be very friendly, very collegial, very helpful, very reliable. But you need to remember that it's a very competitive environment and only few people will win within that environment, and you need to play to win. You need to focus on performing at the next level and always over-delivering at that next level and behaving as a person at that next level. And then you should be able to go up and up and up within the organization. Number 4, be confident but humble. Another area that I think you should focus on is to always remain humble. Do not allow hubris, do not allow any arrogance. Always remain very humble and very calm and just focus on outperforming, under-promising, over-delivering, performing at the next level, over-delivering at the next level, and just being very reliable. There's a very famous saying in Japan that even monkeys fall off trees. Well, think about it. People fall off trees because we're not supposed to be climbing trees, but monkeys, they're very good at climbing trees, but even they fall. So no matter how good you are, you may fall. And then if you were mocking people because you are so good and they're so bad, if you were arrogant, then people will be much less forgiving of it. Management consulting firms have different cultures. Some are a little bit more arrogant than others, but remember that even people who are arrogant, they do not like arrogance in other people. And another important thing to remember is partners are the ones who will decide if you're going to be moving up and up and up or pushed out of the firm very fast. And what partners are looking for, they're not looking for controversial people, they're not looking for arrogant people. The agenda that we come to when we're working with clients is already controversial. We have to make important changes, solve important problems. Some of the people within the client organization get displaced. They lose some of the decision power and prominence that they used to have within the organization. So consulting firms cannot afford to have employees who are arrogant because we already have a controversial agenda when we go to serve clients. So they are not rewarding behavior of people who are arrogant. They're looking for people who are humble, who are hardworking, who are reliable, who have good values, who are looking out for the long-term well-being of the firm. So try to be confident but humble. Know that you are confident in your ability to figure out any issue that you come across, that you will find solution that will serve the client well and the firm. But at the same time, remember that you do not know everything and that you have to keep yourself as a humble, good human being who does not look down on other people. And then you're in a good position to have the right positioning within the firm so people will see you as a partner material. And the last but not least, always interact with clients, with superiors from the position of strength. It is crucial to never feel desperate, never feel that you are less worthy. For example, if you're a business analyst and there is a partner, never feel that you are inferior, that you are less worthy than a partner. The partner is just further along in their career journey. They have been where you are right now, and they probably wish that they could come back and be your age again and go through this process again. So every career stage has its pros and cons. You are young, you are energetic, you have probably a lot more time on this earth than a partner does. So do not position yourself as someone who is inferior, who is less worthy. But at the same time, also be respectful of their knowledge, of their title, of the position, what they accomplished within the firm. So it's a balance. But what I want you to do is to never feel internally that you are less worthy, that you are not important, that you are inferior to clients or to superiors. And this is especially relevant in certain areas such as management consulting. For example, in consulting, partners are like kings. Everyone is running around them. People laugh at their jokes even if it's not funny. And it's okay. It's okay. It's the way it's supposed to be because they deserve to be at that level. It's very hard to become a partner. You're at the risk of being managed out at every step of the way. You have to really perform at your next level to be ever promoted to the next level. So it's very hard to become a partner within a major consulting firm. But at the same time, you need to remember that you are important. You are as worthy as another human being. We are all just human beings at the end of the day. And I've seen it many times. So for example, I had a colleague that I worked with at a management consulting firm, the second one that I joined. And she received a message from partner saying that he wanted to talk about some upcoming project. It wasn't urgent, it was just an email, no urgency. Just talk to me when you have time. She literally ran in her stilettos towards his office as if she was trying to put out a fire. And think about how it looks from the third person perspective. If partner is looking at her behavior, does he think about, oh, this is a partner material, I want her in front of the client, she will be representing the firm in the best possible manner? No, she will not. No partner will not want that, because she will not be representing the firm in the best way. The firm does not want to look like that in front of clients. So remember, how do you appear to people when you behave as if you are less worthy, less important, that your time is less important, that your well-being is less important. So it's a very delicate balance. You still have to be very, very, very deferential and respectful, but at the same time, internally, do not feel desperate, do not feel less worthy. Remember that you are just as important. And what may be helpful for you is to remember something that Michael said in one of his podcast episodes. He said that you need to appear as a CEO in training. You need to behave, you need to be as a CEO in training. You are CEO in training. No matter how junior you are a CEO in training. So remember yourself this way, position yourself this way, in your mind see yourself this way, and then you will come across as a partner material. And many junior people feel very intimidated when they speak to partners. And I want you to remember that at the end of the day, it's not important what anyone is thinking of you. Your success will not be determined by what they think. It will be determined by what you think. So that's it for today. Let me know in the comments which of the tips you found the most helpful, and what is the tip you would like to add for the firms consulting community on how to develop a great image within management consulting firm or within another organization like banking, startups. It's not very different for other areas as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it, subscribe, press on the bell so you don't miss future episodes, share it with your friends, comment in the comments below. We would love to hear from you, and I'm looking forward to see you next time.